guys, it's me, Brandi. I am back Sunday, August 18th, and I think yesterday I said October 17th. We are not quite in October yet, but I'm kind of rushing it. So I'm back, and I am here, and thank you guys so much for listening last night. That was such a great show. I loved every part of what we did. I am on here back again today, and I have a very, very special guest. I'm excited about today's show. It's going to be amazing. I have MaryLynn Bast on here. We're going to talk a little bit about, she is a Reiki Master Psychic medium. We're going to talk about some really cool things. I have some cool questions for her. So let me just go ahead and bring her on. Give me 1 second. Hello, MaryLynn. How are you?
Hi, Brandi. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So good to have you on. So you enjoying your Sunday so far?
I am. It's been actually relaxing. I went up to Mount Charleston and kind of did a chakra balancing, and
Ooh.
I'm back down.
I haven't been to Mount Charleston yet. It's my destination to go there this winter because I have to see some snow. So
yes.
I'm definitely
Just make sure you take your snow tires because you can get stuck up there if you don't have four-wheel drive.
Ooh, that's scary to think about here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, because you don't realize it's that close. But yeah, this morning up there when it's 100 degrees down in the valley, it's about 75 to 80 up there, so very nice.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm going to have to check that out for sure. Okay, so
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from originally? Are you born and raised here? Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, actually, I grew up in Texas, and being a psychic medium there, my gifts weren't quite accepted so much. So I actually worked with my close friends and families while I was there. But whenever I moved to Las Vegas in 2010, so I was actually met with a bunch of people that I could actually connect with and was able to fully open and do what I like to do. So now I work with individuals, families, groups, and, pretty much everyone to provide the spiritual guidance and healing. So I do what I can to help.
Perfect. That's awesome. So you said, being a psychic medium wasn't really accepted much there. I know there's a lot of, information out there about psychic mediums, what they are. Could you explain to us exactly what a psychic medium is?
Well, like the definition, it's someone who can actually communicate with those who've passed. Mm-hmm. It's different for each person. So for me, it means that I can actually hear those and I can see them. For people, whenever I meet someone, I see shadows behind everyone. So I don't connect immediately with the person unless there's a message. So those shadows will step forward, and it's, like I said, it's different for each person. Mm-hmm. So, and if there's a message, they'll come forward, they'll talk to me, and then it just depends on if that person is open or not, if I can actually give them that message, because a lot of people are afraid of it.
Right. I know a lot of people definitely are just like, no. Like, there's such an idea about everything. So I'm so glad to have you on and just clear everything up and really explain. People they fear what they don't understand.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people just don't want to understand. So thank you for being here. Something else that you do is you are a Reiki Master. Explain what that is.
Well, that is a hands-on technique that's used for healings. It was actually created, the Japanese created it. It helps with ailments and reducing stress. Mm-hmm. It's a holistic approach to heal your body. And as a Reiki Master, we do undergo a lot of extensive training using symbols and actually our own energy to help people and even animals to balance and heal the body, their mind, emotions, and their spirit.
Animals?
Yes, I work with animals. I can because I'm also an empath. So I actually feel pain. I feel their emotions. If anybody is having just a stressful day, I can feel it. If they have a medical issue, it's like I will get a sharp pain wherever that's at. Once I address it, it goes away. So by addressing it, I'll talk to the person and say, do you have a headache? Because I just got a major headache. And once I address it, it goes away for me, but then that's a connection that I've made with that person.
Oh, okay. Wow, I did not know that you can work with animals. That's so cool.
Yes.
Wow.
So, yeah, you can do it on animals, and because you can also, even massage therapy and stuff like that, you can do reflexology with animals as well as you do people because they have energy and they have muscles.
Oh, my gosh, that's so cool. It's good to know that.
Yes.
So as far as Reiki and, being a psychic medium, would you say they kind of go hand in hand? They work together?
Well, you can be a psychic medium but not do Reiki because you don't. Not everyone has the healing ability or the ability to connect on the physical level. Because some psychics they just smell something. They have, it's called you've heard of clairvoyance.
Yes.
That's one of 10. What they call the clairs. That's just one of 10 of those abilities. So some people just have one. You can see visions, you can feel, you can hear, taste, smell, touch, or, like an empath with emotional or the physical, or just sometimes they just communicate. So as a Reiki master, you have to be able to have the healing touch. You have to be able to hear, and feel what's going on with your client or, with the person that you're working with. And so you can be a psychic medium without being a Reiki master, and you can also be a Reiki master without being a psychic medium, because you don't always have to connect with that person and be able to see spirits. You don't have to be able to communicate. You just connect on the holistic part of it with the healing touch.
Okay. Oh, wow. Wow. I didn't even know there was like you said, there's 10 different kind of abilities. Wow. I didn't even
most people don't know that.
No, I definitely didn't. Wow. I just thought like psychic medium, okay, you can see the future.
Right.
Oh.
Well, with me,
Wow.
I do. You can see the past, present, and future. It just depends on what's going on. There's also past life regressions and stuff like that. So it's something that if you're completely open, you can develop those if you're willing to. You can get with a mentor. In fact, I have my person who she's actually my partner with Intuitive Touch World, and I was teaching her how to read tarot card readers. So she's got the ability, but she now wants to start reading. So I was working with her on that.
Oh, wow. I didn't know there were things that could be developed over time.
Well, everybody has abilities. Everybody has energy. So if you're open to it, because most people, when they're children, it's just how you're brought up, religion, and just people in general. If they're afraid of it, they close down.
Yes.
So if you're willing to open up and learn that, because it's a lot of people when they get older, it's that intuition is there, but that it's just natural. So they don't look at it as a gift. But if you start really tapping into it, and you can start feeling and seeing and hearing things. A lot of people don't want to do that because, like I said, it scares them.
Right. And again, you fear what you don't understand. So
Absolutely.
for you, when did you know that you had a psychic gift? Were you a child or?
I was actually, it's kind of funny, I was 4 years old, and that's when my mother realized that I really had the gift. I was sitting on the front porch in Texas, and there was a lady sitting there talking to me. I was having a conversation, and I would do this every day, and then my mother just kind of let it go at the beginning, thinking that I was just talking to myself, and one day she came out and asked me, "Who are you talking to?" And I told her it's the lady from across the street. And my mom said that there's no one there. And I told her, yes, there was. I was able to describe her to all the way down to the green dress that she was wearing. So at that time, it kind of freaked her out because she made me go in the house. So as I got older, a little bit later, she told me that she had actually talked to the neighbor and found out that the lady had passed away right there on those steps.
Oh. So she was kind of hanging around.
She was, and she was kind of looking at me as her granddaughter, who she used to go visit all the time.
Oh wow.
So it was kind of a residual for her, but it was like I could see her. It was like every day I remember having almost the same conversation, and I just thought it was cool. I was 4.
Yeah, of course, you're a child. She didn't scare you.
Right. You're right. So yeah, after that, my mom wouldn't let me sit on the porch anymore.
So, as an adult, do you remember her? Like the lady, do you remember what she looked like and everything?
I do. I can remember her down to the color of her hair. She wore glasses, and it was just like kind of a brown, gray colored hair because she was older. Right. And I just remember this bright green dress.
Wow, that's amazing. So,
yeah.
What would you say are some some common misconceptions that the world has about psychics?
That were mind readers. I was actually at an event for Jews the other night, and kind of, she told them what I do. And one of the ladies had been talking, and I close off so I don't connect with everybody because I don't think that's fair. It's unethical for me.
Yeah.
But whenever she told them what I do, the lady looked at me and then she's, oh my God, it covered her eyes and looked away. So I was like, I don't read your mind. So, so everybody laughed about it. But it's a lot of it's like, well, I don't want you to look at me because you can read me. It's like I read energies and I don't read your thoughts.
Okay.
But I do get images and stuff like that. So, but that's the biggest thing is like, I'm not a mind reader.
Yeah, a lot of people probably just like, oh, she knows what I'm thinking. She knows what I did.
Exactly. It's like, you know what I did last night, don't you? I was like, no, and I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. That's so true. Oh my God, that's so funny. I guess that would be a pretty big, because I always just like thought like psychic, like clairvoyant, all the same. Like they could just see you know what I mean? It's like all together in one group. So that makes sense.
Right.
Why do you think that there's such a what were you gonna say?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, like, why do you think there's such an influx or a trend in Reiki these days? I see it, like, happening. A lot of people are getting into it. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's the holistic approach is becoming out there because everybody's trying to find balance and wellness. Mm-hmm. They're tired of taking all the medication, and that's what I tell whenever my clients come to me. It's like, I do a disclaimer is like, do not stop taking your medications just because you feel better. Mm-hmm. I'm not a doctor. But some people really do need those medications, but a lot of them are just, they're given medication for depression, medication for anxiety. They're not getting to the root of the problem. So a lot of people are turning to the Reiki and turning to even chakra balancing and stuff like that. It just helps to get your mind and your body on the same page.
Right. So it's basically the holistic approach. Because I do see it's just like it's growing. Everyone's a lot of people are really getting into it.
Yes.
And I think people are just getting into a holistic approach. It's kind of like we're going back to basics, in my opinion.
Absolutely, because it's just all the fillers and just everything that they're putting in those medications. Mm-hmm. Do we really know what it is? Is it really good for us? You see that it's so she's a full minute of if you have symptoms, and it's just you could. And I saw one, you could die. Well, why would I want to take that?
Right. That makes sense.
So yeah. So that that's what I'm seeing is a lot of people going into that, and even people who are doing yoga are starting to reach out to me on the spiritual side of it to do my chakra classes with them at their studios. Mm-hmm. So it's something. It just along when you're doing yoga, connecting with yourself, it's just kind of following in with that holistic approach.
Right. Makes total sense. So I see some of the things that you sell. You said you sell spiritual bath and body products. So what is a spiritual bath and body product? What is that?
So whenever I first started doing my readings, I would get people's energies because they would stay there. So I created a sage spray. Mm-hmm. And what that does, when you're burning sage, it clears out the energies, the negative, and just kind of puts positive back out there. So I would use that sage spray, and then people started asking me, well, can you do something for prosperity? Can you do, for other things? So, but I created that sage spray because of people are allergic to smoke, or there's places that you can't go into and mm-hmm. burn sage. So right. You just spray it. It's a good smell. I use crystals and I use my energy to put it in. Okay. And so I do those products are, I do the sage sprays. I do, just the room sprays, candles, bath and body products. I think, so it's just a whole line of them that I created for this. And there's specific reasoning for it. So I do have the 7 different scents.
Okay.
So I have sage for protection, prosperity, love, power for spiritual, for calming, and even for chakras.
Oh, wow. That's not something that I've seen or heard of before. That's really cool because I know people just like burn sage off of their house, but a lot of people I know they just can't take the smoke. It's like too much for them.
Right. And, and I know people are, it's legal here in Vegas, for people to go and smoke, but, and that when you burn sage, sometimes you get that smell and it's almost like, were you really smoking? No,
yeah. It's sage. That is so true. That is so
And
true.
plus, it's hard to burn sage when you're going in the car,
Yeah.
So I use the sprays in the cars. I have it at my home. Pretty much wherever you need it, you can have those sprays. My partner actually brings it. She carries one in her purse. And
Okay.
kind of a funny story, I had one of my coworkers actually had one of my sage sprays, and she had a really difficult client. And as soon as the client walks out, she pulls the sage spray out and just started spraying the room. The client turned around and walked back in. And he was like, oh, then she's like, well, what's that? And well, it's just clearing energy out of the room. She ended up buying the product.
That's perfect. And she doesn't have to worry about burning it.
Yeah. Yes. So it worked.
So is being a spiritual healer, we kind of spoke about this earlier. So being a spiritual healer, is that something that a person can learn? Or is it like a natural born gift?
A lot of it is a natural born gift, but not everybody can be the spiritual healer.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn how to do it, but unless you have that ability or you have to have a certain touch to be able to feel the energies. And there are techniques, but you may not be able to help another person. It may be just to help you.
Okay.
So you really have to have a true gift to be able to be a healer.
Okay. Cool. That makes sense. So in dealing with, psychics or, mediums, how can people tell if they're, is someone that's just really good at faking it, or if they are talking to someone that really has the ability? Like, what are some signs and triggers that someone is being honest and not just kind of faking it?
Well, the biggest sign is if someone approaches you and they look at you and say, you have a curse attached to you.
Oh my
And
gosh.
they start asking, and that's happened. They'll tell you they get in and do a reading, and it's kind of the right key questions to be able to get you talking.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll say, well, your family's been cursed, or you have an attachment to you. If you'll come, I need for you to come back. And it's $1,500 or even up to $5,000.
Oh my gosh.
And I've had one come to me and say, well, she told me she wanted $5,000, but I'd have to give her $1,000 and she would get started.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so
and there's a lot of fakes out there. And here in Vegas, we are required to have a license.
Oh, really?
We do, yes. But the problem is anybody can pay the fee to be licensed, but there's no test.
Right.
There's no true test for a psychic, and so that's to where, for me, is I connect with the person and I get messages that absolutely no way that I would know how to get that. So I did another interview for a radio show, and I looked at the guy, and his cat just popped in my head, and I was like, your cat was sick this morning. And he's like, how did you know that? So his cat just got, and it's like, it was just something random. And
right,
it was
something random.
Exactly. And it's like how, so that's where it's sometimes out of the blue, because you can ask those key questions, and most people, it's the love life, it's, their finances, how's my job going? And those are usually those key things. And someone will come in, well, how's my love life going to go? Kind of a broad question, but most of the time, if they're young, a lot of them is like, so did you meet somebody in the last month? Well, no, but I met him about 6 weeks ago, and he's really cute, but I'm just kind of worried. So what do you think? And, so they get you to talking, and you're giving them the answers for them to kind of run with it.
Oh, wow. You didn't even realize you're doing it.
Yes, and you don't, because I had one reading to where I stopped the person because I was like, do you want me to do the reading, or do you want me to tell the story? Or do you want to tell the story? And she's like, oh, you're
sorry,
right.
Yeah. It's like telling you everything.
Exactly. It's like, well, I'm really sitting here as a counselor, if you want to tell the story, but how am I going to help you?
Right. Wow.
Because that's my end game, is to help people to find answers and closure, and to be able to just help them along.
Right. Wow. Well, thanks for those tips, because that is very interesting. So why do you think that people hide their gifts from their loved ones? Like, why do you think people do that?
Well, mine is a prime example being in Texas,
Mm-hmm.
because it was frowned upon. And I was actually told doing that is worshiping the devil,
Yes.
and it's something that because of the beliefs, the religious backgrounds and stuff like that. So we hide our abilities because we don't want to look at like we're fakes, we're fraud. Um, we don't want people making fun of us.
Right.
And it's something, so that's the biggest thing is why you hide. Because I even had a relationship where he asked me, if I asked you to stop, would you? And I told him no, because this is who I am. And if you
Mm-hmm.
can't accept it, then I'm sorry.
Right. It's like telling someone, that's someone telling you to stop who you are.
Exactly. And
Wow.
that's where, because if you've got the abilities and you're not helping for me, holding things in and not doing what I needed to do, it causes depression because you're holding all of those emotions in and you can't get it out. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you having a job to do, but you can't do it. People get depressed.
Right.
So that's
Absolutely.
why a lot of people hide.
Yeah, I was always wondering about that. It's like some, and I think a lot with a lot of families are very judgmental too. It's like they're
Absolutely.
generationally like just raised to believe something, and if it doesn't align with that, then it's a no-no, for sure.
Yes, and yes, and that's where so many shows now on TV about ghost hunting and investigations, and so it's opening people's eyes to their thing out there. Of course, there's some fakes on TV.
Hmm.
It's for entertainment,
Of
but
course.
there really are a lot of stuff. I even go on investigations. I love doing it, even though I can see what's going on there. There's still things that surprise me when it comes up. I don't get scared, but
Hmm.
it's just, yeah, they're there. And then that's where whenever I do the investigations, people are coming, and it's like I connect with the people who do this and then talk to them about who they brought with them. So that's usually cool.
Yeah. Wow. You can do because there's so much you can help people who don't have the ability to see these things either to get clarity
Yes,
with it. It's about
yes.
helping people more than anything. I think people really think it's about just like financial gain, but I think it's really about helping people.
For me, it's, yeah, the financial help, but I have
Mhm.
done so many readings for people. It's just, I felt like I needed to do it for them, and I don't charge
Right.
all the time. But there are times that, like, I'll do psychic parties and stuff like that, so it's a planned where
Hmm.
I'm going and I'm doing my time to 8 hours to where it's like every 15 minutes doing readings for people.
Hmm.
So that turns into a job. So,
Yeah.
but my goal is to help people. I want them to find balance and just to be happy.
Absolutely, and that's good because we need more people like that on this world for sure. Can you tell us
Yes.
a little bit about more about your intuitive touch world, your business? Just tell us more about like what you guys do. What is it exactly? What is it exactly?
So Intuitive Touch World, I worked for a company that was doing the same stuff, and I broke away from them whenever I
Hmm.
tried to bring it to the owner's attention, and they tell me, don't worry about it. So I realized who they really were. So I actually created Intuitive Touch World because I wanted to be able to help the people, help families, individuals. I even work with businesses, and what I do is I do the readings. I'll do, how's the business going to work? How is the love life? How's the family? And it's the dynamics. And that's what the Intuitive Touch World was created for, so I can put that out there. So from the website, intuitivetouchworld.com, you can go in and see everything that I'm doing. I do the chakra parties, I do the psychic parties, and all of my products are right there as well. The products are actually very helpful for a lot of people. I have one person that has an autistic child. They actually use my calming spray when he starts having an attack.
Hmm.
He will take the spray and spray himself with it, and it calms him down.
Wow. That's
So it's,
I've never even heard of that before. Like the different spray. I've heard of saging before, but never like
yeah.
the actual sprays. That's so cool.
And each one of them does something different. Every one of my products is stage based.
Hmm.
So it has, and whenever because I have hands-on creating everything. I'm also a graphic designer, so I create labels, everything myself.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, so but I also have on the website that I do paranormal investigation.
Hmm.
So if people are having stuff in their home, I can go out. I'll usually do a walkthrough. A lot of them will say, "Well, I had a demon in my house." No, you just have a mischievous child. So it's little things like that going on in the house. Sometimes if it's just kind of a negative.
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if it has just a malevolent energy, I'll help clear it off and get them out, get that energy out. But if it's a good energy, like, well, it's their grandmother that's visiting, they allow them to visit, so we don't clear them out.
Right.
But a lot of times, it's just knowing that someone is there and believes them when they're telling the story, that's the biggest thing.
Right, actually hearing them.
Yes.
Gotcha. Oh, very cool. Well, that's cool. So I did ask you previously, I'm going to ask you now. I'm kind of like hesitant to ask questions about my future just because, I don't know, I'm just one of those people that's just like always changing my mind about stuff and have like commitment phobia. So I think something is going to be like set in stone. I'm like, I worry about it. But I am curious. I'm very curious about some things for 2020 for me in particular. I am really focused on one of my businesses, and I just really have been doing it for a couple of years, and this is kind of like the year where I'm like, is this going to be prosperous for me? Is it going to work out the way that I need it to be, or do I need to let it go? So I'm very curious about that.
So I'm seeing 3 different businesses for you. It's something that it's 3 different pathways that you can go down. They're kind of interconnected, but they're not quite. So it's something different with each 3. The one that you're looking at right now is going to be very prosperous, but it's going to take time, and it's going to take a lot more energy than you anticipate.
Okay.
So it's going to be it's going to work for you, but there's going to be times it's like, why am I doing this?
Yes.
Look at the big picture, because that's to where you kind of lose your path at times because you're going, and you take on too many projects.
Oh my God, yes, I do.
So there's so many that's hanging out there, and they're not quite done. And then you're like, oh, I got to go back to this one. Oh, this one's still good. And you don't quite finish what you're working on. You'll get right there, but then drop it.
Right.
And then you try to go back to it. So the one that you're working on right now, it's actually the second one that you started that is really going to push forward and just go. You just have to see it through to the end. Don't give up on it.
Wow. Literally no way you could have known that was the second thing that I started. That's crazy. So, wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So, yeah, I just got chills. So that's confirmation for me. So what will happen is whenever I'm doing a reading, my whole body will chill up, and that's just me, my guides telling me, yes, you're spot on.
You are definitely spot on. There's no way you could have known that was that is just no way you could have known that. That's crazy. That is really good information because I feel it. I feel like that in 2020, I really have to push for that more than anything, even though it's not necessarily the idea thing that I really want to do all over, but it is something that I feel like I have to push for.
You're going to have to push for it, and look in around October 2020, there's going to be a huge, I don't know if it's an event, but there's something huge that's happening in October that's going to really propel you.
Okay. Gotcha. That is amazing. There was the other thing I was wondering about that's kind of been kind of on my mind lately is children. I don't know why. They're just on my mind a lot. And I'm just wondering, not if I'm going to have them, but I don't know. I've just been thinking about kids a lot, and I don't know what that's all about.
Well, I'm seeing for you, it's almost like you feel like your biological clock is ticking.
Probably.
They're there, but you haven't made the decision that you really want them, because I see 3 around you, but it may not necessarily be your own children.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You could be dating somebody that has 3 children, but they look at you as a mother figure.
I feel like I always have this 3. I always see 3 girls around me, and I don't know what that means. So it's weird that you
because there's 3 energies that are around you, but you also have a spirit guide that's with you, and it keeps tapping you on the shoulder and saying, "Listen to me. You're not paying attention to your spirit guide."
Okay. That makes sense.
So you have intuition, but you doubt yourself too much.
Yes. Had a lot of things happen to me in the past year that really makes me wonder about myself, in terms of
Yeah.
like seeing things and feeling things and not really understanding where they're coming from. And it seems like it's growing.
So what I like to do is I like to challenge people to start writing down when they have something like that and just thoughts, write it down. And then you could go back and look at it and see, why did that just pop into my head? That is your guide trying to direct you in where to go.
Okay.
So it's just random, so write it down. It's kind of like a journal for your thought journal.
Okay, perfect.
And then those thoughts are going to start forming, and it's going to be something that's going to help you kind of stay on track as well.
Okay, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm seeing you as a very visual person. It's like you do write a lot of stuff down, but then you forget where you put it.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is like my life story. Everything. I'm the person with intention, but man, that execution is like.
Do you have a whiteboard that has like a calendar on it? A whiteboard on your wall?
I do.
You use it, but it's random stuff that don't really.
Yes.
You need to clear that off and restart it.
Just really, we have it like out in the front. We just put stuff on there, and then we have intentions, my business partner and I, but it's just like, but yeah, we have to definitely start. Okay, that makes total sense. So
you need a to-do list, and you need to be able to check it off and have a goal as to where you're going to be in a month. What are you going to do in 3 months? What are you going to do in a year, 2 years, 5 years?
Perfect. Oh my goodness, that is amazing. Wow.
So once you have that, it's kind of like a business plan for you. You have a plan, but you need to solidify it.
And stick to it.
Yes.
Okay. Specifically, I have like some pretty big things happening in February and March. Do you see anything around like February for me? Like,
it's closer towards the end of February, mid-March, and I'm seeing March 14th. There's some date on March 14th that's significant with you.
Okay. That does like totally, especially the end of February going into March, that makes total sense. So, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so make note of March 14th and see what comes up. Now, see, that's where it goes back to the fake psychic. I can tell you this is going to happen on March 14th, and you're looking at it, and then you can look at something comes up. Oh, well, she said this is going to happen on March 14th, and you make it happen.
Wow.
So that's where it's like planting that seed. But there is something that's coming up for March 14th that's going to happen. It's just kind of floating out there right now because it hasn't been set in motion, but it is there.
And that totally aligns with something. That's why I asked about the February-March thing, because like it would start around the end of February. Yeah, okay, wow.
But yeah, it's close. It is the March 14th. It starts kind of March 11th, 12th, and then the 14th jumps up. So it's going to kind of start, you're going to think it's going to start happening on the 11th, but then it jumps to the 14th.
Okay.
So you may have a meeting or something that comes up that's scheduled, but then it's going to get rescheduled.
Okay. That makes total sense. Wow, that's really incredible because, like I said, I've talked to people before, and it's just, I'm always like hesitant, but you're very specific without me even telling you anything. That's crazy. Wow. Okay.
Well, thank you.
That's amazing. That was so much fun. I have really, really enjoyed my time with you. All the information you've given me is actually, just generally speaking, I think there's so much misinformation about people when it comes to like psychic mediums, people, spiritual guidance. They just really don't know because I think they're so, they just from their childhood, what they're told by their parents, their family, they just really don't understand what it means. So thank you for clearing all that up. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's been a pleasure.
And before we go, let us know, our listeners know how they can reach you, how they can find you, your information.
Well, I have my website is intuitivetouchworld.com. You can actually reach me if you need email at MaryLynn@intuitivetouchworld.com, or I do the chakra balancing classes at Board 30. It's a fitness studio where I do my session. My next session is coming up August 25th. Okay. And it's a 1-hour session, and I help balance every one of the chakras, and it's pretty cool. I have classes anywhere from 2 people on up to 15 people, so the energies kind of feed off of each other. Board 30 is located at 60 6070 South Rainbow. They also do, it is a fitness studio, so they do that during the daytime, then I do my classes in the evening on Sunday. I am going to start doing Skype sessions soon, and I do psychic parties, and in fact, I'll be in Texas over the Labor Day weekend doing a party there. So if anybody's interested in a psychic party, I'll be more than happy to tell you all about it.
Oh, that's so cool. Yes, guys, definitely check her out because I know I'm going to be definitely going to come to one of your classes. That's so cool.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed having you on here. I'm sorry?
Well, thank you. My phone number is 702-569-1240.
Perfect. Write that down. Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, guys, reach out, definitely. I'm pretty, like why I have this show is I really want people to connect with women in the community that could just help them in different ways. So this was so great. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, hopefully we can have you back on again. Definitely.
I love it, and I love doing like the mini readings and stuff like that, and it's kind of the shock effect.
It is. I'm like waiting to get off here so I can go find my business partner. Like, guess what? I can't wait. Believe me, I can't. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for listening. I will be back next week. I have 2 interviews Saturday and Sunday next week. Also, they're going to be really good shows. I enjoyed having you guys this weekend. Thank you again, MaryLynn, for coming on. Guys, thank you for listening. Make sure you're subscribing, liking, following the blog. This is where we're growing our community, and we're just glad to have everybody be a part of that. And again, MaryLynn, thank you for coming on. You guys have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good, prosperous week, and you as well. And you guys have a good one. Bye.